Hi there, my name's Allie. Welcome. If you are new, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification button. Every Friday, I'll be putting out a video on either yoga movements from slow flow to yin to breathwork to meditation. It'll be a mix. So today, though, we will be doing a very gentle practice, yin-ish. So what I mean by yin-ish is traditionally yin practices hold the postures from anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes, depending on what it is. So today it might not be exactly that. However, we will be slowing things down. It's a new year. I think people jump right into the new year with this gung-ho attitude and then burn out. So I want us to start at a slow pace, just getting really clear and aligned to where we want to be, and feel into the posture, into the body, into the tissues. So the focus today will be the knees and actually primarily the hamstrings, lengthening the hamstrings. So you'll probably need a strap for this practice. And there's only going to be a few postures and not a lot of movement in this practice. So if you really feel like you want to move, check out some of my other videos. There's a lot of different styles that you can choose from. So let's start in, I know this is a weird way to start, but let's just start right in downward facing dog. And what I want us to do is just move the ankles and the feet around a little bit just to feel the back body, which is where the hamstrings are. Okay, just feeling into the fascia, the connective tissue, and warming up a little bit before we actually get going. And then you'll need your strap, so have that close by. So go ahead and find your downward facing dog. So the hands are shoulder distance, fingers spread, toes and feet are hip distance, and you'll lift your hips up towards the sky and just take some time to pedal the feet. Now, if you are feeling a little bit sore and stiff from the holidays, just take your time into it. The breath is your friend, so really breathe, nice conscious breaths in and out through the nose. Let the head shake from side to side, releasing any tension in the back. Nice deep breaths in and out. Good. And so if you start to just move and warm up the knees, this will put a little bit of flow, circulation into the joints, as well as awareness in the back body, okay? So we'll take a moment here. Now, I ask you to bring your knees down to the ground. If you do have any knee injuries and it just does not feel good when you bring your hips back towards the heels, maybe place a block or a cushion in between the backs of the knees and then sit down, okay? So just feel into that. I just want us to take a moment to center and settle. Breathe in and out. Let the shoulders relax, let the neck relax. Softening the back, the spine, and the knees. Now, if you do have some knee injuries going on, you may not be able to be full flexion through the knee joint. So your hips will just be up and you'll be doing more of this kind of a pose where you're stacking your wrists or your fists and settling the forehead onto the fists, and your hips are up. Okay, so just feeling into where you need to be today. Couple more deep breaths in and out, setting an intention for your practice. And that intention could be a word or something, a theme that you may have for this coming into this new year of 2025. Sounds so futuristic.
Good. And then as you bring yourself back up in finding that downward dog again, pressing the hands in and seeing if you can settle your heels down. Now, you may not be able to, your spine could be rounded here. And if it's rounded, you want to bend your knees and then lift your hips up. Okay, start to tilt your tailbone upwards so you can get a length and then soften in the chest. Eventually, though, guiding those heels towards the earth as you spread the toes. Press your hands in so you feel length through the joints, through the arms, through the torso. Good. Steady breath. And then the next release, exhale. Knees just come down to the ground. And we'll come right down to our back body. So laying down on your back, grab your strap. And just moving slow, mindful. And you'll unravel the strap so that you can have a little bit of a loop for the foot. So just wrap the strap around the ball of your, let's say, right foot to start. And then the hands are up enough where you can just relax the shoulders. Okay. Now we'll start with a 90 degree, which means everything's stacked, bone upon joint, ankle, knee, hip. So the leg is straight up in the air. And you keep rooting that right hip down. Good, breathing. Now, if you are way out here, you will still get a little bit of a stretch because it's just where your range of motion is. So you might feel tight there. And, you might be so flexible that your leg's coming really close to your body, but I don't want any forcing. So let's go to a point where you're relaxed and you can still feel a tiny little bit of a stretch. From the ischial tuberosity, which is where the sits bones are, that's where the three hamstring muscles come from the knee, and they attach from the ischial tuberosity to the knee. And that's why if your hamstrings are super tight, it might be pulling at your knees. And we want to protect the knees here by engaging your quadricep. Okay, so this is the opposite muscle, the quadricep, and then the antagonist muscle is the hamstring. So you're engaging the quads so that you can access some length in the hamstrings. Go ahead and relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. Taking some time just to feel into the sensations. And if you feel like you're gripping on your hands, you can slide your elbows down to the ground and then just gently hold on to the strap. Whatever's good for you, just as long as you're relaxed in the arms, the shoulders, the neck. Breathing into that back body. Good, we'll take one more breath here. And then start to release. So just bringing the left foot now, and that right foot comes down. Good, so finding the 90 degree first, or wherever the range of motion is just relaxed. Okay, and drawing this left sit bone down and back. So the left hip draws down to the ground. So you're not pulling at all so that the hip's lifting off the ground. Okay, you're really rooted there. And then just go beyond that range of motion, just up where you're starting to feel a little bit more of a stretch, but it's not forcing it and it feels safe. Because there's a point where you can feel where it's just overstretching it and it's not super healthy for it. Okay, so once again, put the activity in the quadriceps, which really also you want to be mindful with the knees in your standing postures to activate the quads and support the structures around the knee. So we're creating strength around the knee. Okay. And then relaxing shoulders. Relaxing the jaw and the neck. Okay, let's take one more breath here. Nice. And we'll release the strap and just bring both feet to the ground and let the knees sway from side to side. Now feel free to create a little fist with your hands and press into the sides of the piriformis, which is just basically around the glute area. Okay. And as you sway the knees from side to side, and my hand is just basically into the ground like this, so the knuckles then massage into those muscles. Just loosening up any restrictions there. Good. All right. So let's bring both legs up and we'll do a little bit of a point and flex with the feet. So you're just feeling those ankle joints, pointing, flexing. And then what I want you to do, if you can reach the back of your knees, just to give it a little bit of a rub there. In the back of the joints, sides of the knees. Okay, maybe the insides, the MCL, and the top of the patella. Okay. Now, this is another one if you are able to reach. If you're not, you can bend your knees a little bit towards you if you're not able to reach your calves. But we're basically just warming up and waking up the areas of the calves. And what I'm doing is grabbing, so my thumbs are going on the lateral portion of your shin bone in that tibialis anterior. Okay, so it's just basically putting pressure there. So you feel the soft spot beside the bone. And then your fingers, the other parts, are going all the way down the calf. Almost like, oh my God, this is so hard to explain, but it's just like walking down the calf, okay? And if you don't understand that, you can just rub the backs of your legs. So the tibialis anterior, ooh, yeah, that feels a little bit good, I'm not gonna lie. So flow the area now, flush everything from the ankles down towards the heart, towards the hips, okay? So we're just getting a little bit of blood flow here, front and back, You could do the yin side and the yang side, the insides of the legs and the outsides of the legs. Good. All right, and then just a little bit of bicycle. So your hands can just be relaxed by your hips. And you're pedaling an imaginary bike upside down. Good times. So we are putting more movement into the knee joints, getting them nice and warmed up. Good. Okay, so let's roll to the side. Slowly with our hand and palm, come up sideways. We will take the strap again. And if you need a cushion, you can sit on a cushion. Good. Okay, sitting tall. Now, Janushirasana A, so basically head beyond knee pose, is your right knee bends, sole of the right foot comes towards the inner left thigh. You may want like a block or a cushion. I'm just going to grab one. Block. To go underneath the knee, especially if you have a hip thing going on, which I do. I'm starting to feel a little bit of a tender hip action going on. So I'm going to place that there, and then we will put the strap around the foot, lengthen, inhale, exhale to fold. Okay. Inhale, exhale, and just continuing to lengthen the side body, engaging the quadricep of that left leg, rolling the shoulders down the back body, and breathing into this. Now, in more of a yin style, we just relax everything. This is a bit more, we're kind of activating things here. So they're just longer held stretches. But in yin, you really want to surrender. So if you are wanting to just go into more of that yin style, you don't have to use a strap. You can relax everything. You have a bolster here and just let everything be soft as you surrender. Okay. And just letting go of the forcing or pushing or needing to be somewhere. Just surrendering. And just focusing on the breath as you breathe in and out of the nose. Relaxing the mind. And accessing the connective tissue now. And letting the fascia soften. Good, and let's take 2 more breaths here. Let any tension go in the neck. And then slowly coming out. Give yourself time to move nice and easy. Releasing any of the props, shaking the body out. Sometimes I like to do a little tapping in between, just tapping out the muscles, the joints, the tissues. Now, checking in with the body, seeing if you need the block or the strap. Now, if you're going in for a little bit more of an active posture, you can use the strap, pressing both heels, so you're flexing both feet. Okay. A relaxed posture, even placing the block here or bolster. And the block can just go on the forehead if the forehead reaches. And breathing into this. And then as your body settles, it'll start to let go a little bit deeper the more you soften into the posture. And you'll notice that things will start to come up for you, and you may need to shift a little bit, whatever it is you're going through in the body. Okay. So just listening to that, noticing the sensations. Relaxing the face and the jaw, the shoulders. And every exhale, you're calming even more. The thoughts start to calm, dissolve. The breath slows down, the heart rate. And just paying attention to letting go. And just starting to let go of things that may have served you in the past but are no longer in alignment with you, moving forward into the future. And just being present with the transitions. So let's take a couple more breaths here. Good. And then slowly rise. And once again, just move out of it as mindful as possible. Moving your props to the side. And I would maybe keep the cushion for the sit bones. Sitting on the cushion. Now, a couple things here. This one, our legs are going to be into a V position, like so. But you want to be mindful on the insides of the knees, okay? So any tugging or too much pulling there, just bring the legs back in. You don't have to be really wide for this one. It can be just a 90 degree for your legs. Okay, now the block may come in handy in the front, depending on how far down you go. So you may be just up here. And if you are up here, we can all start like this first. Just take your fingers and just do a little bit of a massage for the knees as you breathe in and out, just massaging around the kneecap.
Great. And if you're staying here, you can either press back and lift your chest, or if you have more range of motion and mobility through the hips, you can start to tilt the pelvis forward and either coming onto the block or coming down, block to the forehead to the block. So just feeling where you're at and taking your time settling in. Now this one you'll really start to feel those attachment points from the knee and the ischial tuberosity. Just settling the body, settling the shoulders, the lower back. Breathing in and out through the nose. And we're just accessing the deeper parts of the fascia and connective tissue, okay? So normally in a quicker moving yoga practice, we zero in on the muscles and the structure of the bones. But in yin, it targets a little bit more of the connective tissue, which the fascia is really wrapped everywhere in the body. And it's meant for us to have this structure and stability and flexibility. So if it's off and out a little bit, you can start to feel it through the joints. Just quieting down the mind. Now you might feel little sensations throughout the adductors and the inner thighs. It feels really good. Just be mindful of the inner knees where it's not pulling too much at the knee joint. Yeah, we'll just take a few more breaths here. And then slowly start to come out. Just rise your body up and just bending the knees. We can move it to the side, take the cushion out, move the props to the side so that you can prep for your final resting pose. But let's just do little windshield wipers to release the hips, okay? Good. All right. Coming down to lay down in Shavasana. So take your time settling in. You may want to get some blankets, keeping you warm. Now, if the lower back is sensitive, feel free to bend the knees and have the feet on the ground. Otherwise, stretching the legs out, palms facing upwards. And take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, releasing the body. And just taking this time to let gravity realign the structure, the bones, softening the muscles, the tissues. As you breathe gently in and out through the nose,
paying attention to any busyness or activity in the mind and start to dissolve the thoughts. And letting yourself sink deeper and deeper into Shavasana. Calm breath in and out through the nose as you begin to relax the whole body, softening through the eyes, the tongue, the jaw, the back of the neck, the throat, down through the chest, both shoulders, elbows, wrists, palms. And softening the whole spine and all the organs into the hips. Relaxing the knee joints, the hamstrings, the calves, both ankles, and all your toes. Completely surrendering. And starting to pay attention to the breath again. Breathing deep breaths in and out. Nice slow exhale out of the mouth. Good. Moving very gently through fingers, toes. Letting the head roll from side to side. Rolling the ankles. We'll bend the knees and come over to our side body. Take a breath here. Good. And coming all the way back up to seated. Finding a comfortable cross-legged posture. Sitting nice and tall and just noticing the spine, the pelvis, the alignment, the calm mind. And bringing your hands to heart space and just bowing in towards the heart. And in honor of the practice and the teachings and the health of our bodies, I want to thank you so much for joining me and for showing up for yourself on the mat. Namaste, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Happy New Year.